Hi, welcome into Authentically Loveable You, a podcast on authenticity and how to love yourself better. So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is the title, Retell Your Story. Again, retell your story. So we all have a story to tell. We have a past. And a lot of times we come from a place of, things, we weren't always brought up in the greatest atmosphere or surroundings. And sometimes that creates trauma and leads to other situations and relationships that we did not anticipate. And so what we're going to look at is how do we go about retelling our story? Because I know I'm about to retell my story. And so when I look at that, I look at they always say there's 3 major events in your life that could have caused you to go a different direction, like a fork in the road. So I always look at what were those 3 situations and how did they impact my life. Now, I've probably had more than 3, and so I look at those situations and I say, are they a positive situation or not a positive situation? And if it wasn't a positive situation, then I tend to sit and think, what were the events that led up to that, and how could it have been handled different? So I want to tell you that in retelling your story, always come from a raw and very honest perspective. Tell it like it is. Tell the truth. That's what authenticity is about. We're not watering down ourselves to appease everyone. We've talked about people pleasing. That's not who we are anymore. So we want to come from an honest perspective and tell the truth. If you were traumatized, then tell people you were traumatized. Don't water it down to appease people so that they get off the hook. This isn't about them. This is about you. And at the end of the day, this is your life and you have to live it. And so if we're giving people a watered down version of ourselves, we need to take that mask off and be authentic. Because if we're not being authentic, we're not dealing with the issues at hand. And if we're not dealing with the issues at hand, we're just holding ourselves back. Don't give anybody a free pass or a free ticket to minimize you. You are a person. You are created for greatness. And just because you may come from an empathetic personality and you may be nice, it doesn't give anyone the right to take advantage of your politeness. I know that I've been in situations where people have done that. They just say, oh, well, she's just so nice, so let's just take advantage of her. No, that is creating a victim mentality. And that person that's taking advantage of you is the perpetrator, all right? Creating you to be a victim without maybe your even acknowledgement or acceptance, saying, oh, that's okay. They're being a manipulator and they're taking advantage of you. And that leads to other character traits as deception and betrayal. And you know what? We don't want that. We don't want to live in that kind of world. And when we're being authentic, we're waking up to our true selves. We're waking up to what is really going on. We're taking a pulse on all our relationships, and we're looking at how to be that better person authentically. Now, sometimes we need to drop the mask. Maybe we need to not be so nice. Maybe we need to have better boundaries. Maybe I have found myself, in regards to a certain someone, being disrespectful to me. I didn't invite that in, and I'm sure as heck not going to tolerate it. So that came with a boundary. And sometimes you need to pull back. We talked about this before. Pulling back your power. Nothing sets a boundary better than silence. And when you're sitting in silence, you need to take that time to reflect. And that's where you regain perspective and you get clear. It's also a place where your intuition should kick in. So what is intuition? Well, it's your gut feeling. It's a God-given gift to know what's going on, right? But you have to be still and sit and wait. Now, mothers have great intuition. Teachers have great intuition. Why? Because we learn through experience of maybe what's going to happen next, or when something feels right, or maybe something feels off. This person that was being disrespectful, something felt off to me, and I hesitated. And I know when I hesitate, that means something's not right. And I'm very patient in getting to know people and talking to people. And I now have very strong boundaries up. And in that hesitation, I knew what my intuition was telling me. So intuition is a very strong tool that you can have at your disposal, right? Some people are naturally gifted with a strong sense of intuition. They can see things. They can hear things before they happen. People could have dreams or just senses. I remember one time when I was in Florida, I was supposed to be going to this place, and I had to get on the freeway. There was a couple different paths I could have taken, but I thought, well, you know what? I want to get there quickly, so I'm going to go on the freeway. And something kept telling me, don't go that way. Don't go that way. Take the side streets. And I thought I would test myself. Well, guess what? I was wrong. So I went to get on the freeway, and 2 miles turned into 2 hours. And 2 hours is a lot of time. So I said to myself, self, listen. Listen to what you think is the right thing to do. Now, in our intuition, it's been very rare that I have been wrong. I've been more wrong about people's character than I have been about situations. But, people's character, you have to give them time to prove who they are. And once you see that one discrepancy, you better red flag that. And you better take it seriously. Because those people are telling you what they're about. And what they do to you, what they do with you, they'll do to you. So if they're gossiping with you about other people, then guess what they're going to do when you're gone behind your back? Gossip, slander, okay? Those are not people that you want to be around. So your intuition is very strong. And you know what? In intuition, you don't doubt yourself. You go with it. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. But intuition is there to guide you. Okay? And it's that sense of right or wrong. You get a feel for it. And the more you practice it, the better that you get at it. They say a lot of times people that are empathetic have a very strong sense of intuition because they read energy and senses and feelings. People that are not empaths or not highly empathetic, their intuition is not as strong. So again, to develop that gift, it's something that has to be worked on. And once you begin to retell your story, you honor who you are, meaning you're raw and honest in your perspective about retelling your story. You don't water it down to appease someone or to hide what someone else is doing. You hold nothing back, and it's a new perspective. Your intuition grows, and you learn. You learn the next time. So for the next time, if that occurs, you know exactly how to handle it. Why? Because you've already been through it before. And so we want to strive for a place of privacy and peace. Nobody should be in our business. We shouldn't be telling people things, because a lot of times those private things that are very important to us, people don't hold those dear like you would. So remember to protect that. Protect your privacy. And when you have your privacy protected, you'll have peace. And move forward. Okay, move forward into the life that you want to create if you're not there yet. And so sometimes, as we've talked about, we have to let go of people, places, and things that are not there for us. They're not supportive, right? They've been deceptive. They've lied. They've slandered. They've talked about us. Okay, they've come against us, is the truth. And you know what? You don't need to live your life in that. You can take a different path. And so do your research and what does that want to look like? But don't be so quick to act, to jump, to take whatever appears. Go for the things that you want and create the life that you want to have. That's how we really walk in our authenticity. And we are being honest and true to ourselves. Now, could this take a big step of faith? It could. Could it be risky? It could. But a lot of times I have found those things that took the most faith and were a bit of a risk had the most reward. So you have to look at, they always say, watch what you wish for. Why? Because you might get it. So really hone in on and look in your heart and your intuition. Where's it guiding you to go? Because intuition also guides our steps. We have a knowing. It'll show up. All right? Or somebody will tell you. Or it'll come out. Everything comes out in the wash. What does that mean? Truth always prevails. So if you're trying to hide things, if you're trying to come against somebody that is innocent, if you're trying to gossip or slander or be deceitful, okay, you might think you got it covered, but if you're sharing it with other people and they know what you're doing, the leak will get out. So be aware, all right? And remember, we're focusing on safe people, being around safe situations and safe environments. Why? Because that's going to produce growth. And we always want to be growing. And so this is how we grow in our authenticity, all right? We're going to retell our story, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So look forward to that, and continue to walk in being authentic to yourself. If you're a little shy with, retelling your story, you can write it down or share it with, practice it or share it with somebody. But be honest about it. Don't hide, all right? And let the mask fall off. Be raw about it. But that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be retelling my story. And I know it's going to take me to a whole another level of authenticity. And again, we're still working on this platform. It was called Level Up. And so this takes you to a whole new level. So be true to you, love you, and keep being authentically lovable you. Until next time, have a great day and retell your story. Bye-bye.